Hello, Aries. This is your 2019 12-month love readings, and this is for the coupled and the singled. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay out 12 cards here after I shuffle them, and we're going to lay out 12 tarot cards and 12 accompanying oracle cards. We'll do month by month a look at what the overall energies month by month for your year for 2019. And then at the end, we'll see if there's additional cards that I'd like to throw to close up the reading. So let's get started. Oh, I also should say that, I only really deal with jumpers as part of my shuffling process. So if more than one jumps, then we're going to advance that card to the next month and the next month. Unless it's a whole gaggle of them, then I just reshuffle again. Because I want to make that clear for Spirit, and I want to make that clear for everyone who's watching. All right, let's get started. Thank you, Spirit. We are looking at Aries love for both the single and couple. This is a 12-month, 12-card reading, or at least 12 tarot card reading. And the first month we are looking at for Aries in love. Oh, thank you. We have 7 of Swords for the month of January. Okay. Hermit for February. Okay, so we've got one of those situations that I spoke of. So the Wheel for March. The Wheel of Fortune, but I think they call it the Wheel in this deck. And this is for April, Ace of Swords. We're now looking for Aries in love for May, or the next month. Oh, okay. We have 7 of Pentacles. In June, we have the Magician. Make sure y'all can see that. And we're going to have to probably spread them out because we're going to lay the oracle cards in just a moment. We're looking for a card for the next month for love for Aries. Okay, we've got the full card for July. About the next month. Okay. For August, we have 10 of Wands. For the next month, for Aries. Okay, we're going to go with it. 3 of Swords for September. Oh, Queen of Wands for October. November, December. Okay, yeah, make sure. November is 9 of Cups. And then December. Okay. This is King of Swords. Couldn't even spit it out. King of Swords. I know it's a woman there, but this is actually a deck that has women as kings. Okay. So that's that for all 12 months. Now I'm going to do a corresponding card for what is that 7 of Swords about for Aries in January. Can you give us more information and advice? Oh, bother. Of course you want to give 2 cards. Chemistry and new love. This is a little saucy. At least I'm going to tell you in a moment why I think it's a little saucy. I just kind of want that associated with these 2. And bring you guys down. what about the Hermit for February? What is that about for coupled and single? It is safe for you to love. Okay. What about the Wheel of Fortune for March? What is that about for our Aries friends, coupled and single? Huh. I think this is unrequited love. I always forget how to pronounce it. Unrequited. Unrequited. Some map stones some more. Scoot you guys over a smidge. Okay. What is this Ace of Swords for April about for Aries? What is that about? Can you give us more information and insight and advice? Huh. Release your ex. Alright. What about for May? For the Seven of Pentacles. What is that card about? This could be the one. And then for June, the Magician. What is that one about? What do we have for June here? For Magician, for Aries. Oh, retreat. Nice. All right, so now we're moving into the next 6 months here. Make sure we've got some space. All right, for that full card for July, what is that about? What more information can you give us, Spirit? Thank you. Honeymoon. Okay. What about this Ten of Swords, Spirit? What insight can you give about this Wands for the month of August? Heart-to-heart conversations. What about for September with this Three of Swords for Aries, coupled and single? What is this about? Can you give us more information, Spirit? Thank you. What is this about? Huh, wedding. Okay, I think I know what I'm getting a hit off of for this card here. With this one. So it's not the person, it's not, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. What about for October? What is this Queen of Wands about for Aries, coupled and single? Healing family issues. Nice. What about this Nine of Cups for Aries for the month of November in love for the couple and single? Huh. Calling in your soulmate. Nice. Let's see. Just want to make sure we have a lot of room. And then finally for December, King of Swords. What does this mean for Aries? Okay. Pay attention to the red flags. Let's have that like so. All right. What candle I need to put out? To have an excellent romance or to have love entering your life this year, Aries. What do Aries need to surrender? What is the big theme of surrendering for the year of 2019 in love for Aries? Surrender to wonder and awe, and we'll look more into that in a moment. Okay. In terms of any closing messages once I'm tying up this reading. Sovereignty, Aries. sovereignty, and we'll maybe read an excerpt from the guidebook on this one, and we'll see what it means in terms of love. And I'm going to lower my crystals. I forgot to clear the table here before I got started with your love reading. Okay. All right. We have got a full-on spread. Got my tea here, and I hope you got something to drink. Pause if you don't, so you can come on back and enjoy the ride. Here we go. So, I'm so excited for this. All right, so we have January, and over here we have the Seven of Swords. And the reason why I thought this was interesting was because it came up with chemistry and new love. Coupled with this, let's say you're in a relationship, right? So Aries, if you're in a relationship, this is saying that perhaps you possibly have started exploring or considering exploring a relationship with a new love because there's been chemistry or flirtations happening between you and someone else, or maybe someone has been flirting with you and you are entertaining the possibility of new love. This card comes as caution to you to stop, sit back, think about it, and see if that new love is really worth, foregoing the love that you're in now. Now, of course, it could be. I'm not one of these people, by the way. I'm not one of these readers who are like nanner, like, oh, you shouldn't cheat. I don't impose any of my own whatevers. And honestly, I feel like people are divinely guided to do as they do, and for whatever reason. So it's not my business to get into. So if you choose to explore that, and you analyze everything, you scrutinize it, and you think, hey, my old partner, we've grown apart. This isn't cool. I'm not feeling it anymore. This new person, we have connection, we have chemistry, we have something here that I want to explore more. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly, in my opinion. But there's a way to have an appropriate exit strategy, or an appropriate time where you really navigate those feelings. You guys try a little bit of counseling. You be open and honest with your partner. Now, so that's why I'm saying for the couple, could be it. Or even if nothing has really popped off yet, maybe you've just started exploring some online connections. That still could lead to something. So you just have to be careful of that. And also on the flip hand side, if you're the person that may be a married person or someone in a committed relationship is starting to try to explore, you're having chemistry with them. Maybe you have a social media connection with one another, and you know that this person has a family, but yet you guys still kind of do this or that. The Seven of Swords, it says, hey, you may get away with something right now, but you may not get away with it forever. So you just, again, need to be careful that you approach new love with as much integrity as possible. And what I mean by that is when you go into a relationship the way, with integrity and with honor and with respect, mutual respect for the players involved, and for yourself, ultimately, right? That is the foundation for a strong and lasting relationship. When you're entering it under some other kind of pretenses, it does not bode well. So just be careful. These cards, though, if we kind of just step back for a moment from the Seven of Swords, there may be a renewed, maybe some people were thinking about stepping out on their partner because things were getting kind of bad with their partner. And so now they're maybe saying, you know what, let me take a step back. Let me try to get to know my partner again. Maybe we've fallen out of love because we just don't really know who we are anymore. And we're going to see who we are with new eyes. Surrender to the wonder and awe, it says. Here's some good advice here. It says, open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And what this is telling me, sitting next to this, is that you may have moments where you're like, I want to step out on my partner. But then you say, you know what? I'm gonna look at my partner with new eyes of awe and wonder, like I I did back when we first started dating. And that's going to feel quite amazing. And it's going to feel like new love. It's going to feel like a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, right? And then this is also speaking of those folks who are not in a relationship yet, but maybe have been exploring or having some chemistry with someone. This card also confirms that this is a love that's springing from this chemistry that's happening. So some good stuff happening in January 2019, but just some things also to be on the lookout for. In February, we have the Hermit card. So the energy for Aries in the month of February, it's saying it's safe for you to love. Let's see what the little message here says. It says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And maybe perhaps you've been having a time, like maybe if you're single, Aries, and you've been having a time of trying to find love, but you just haven't been able to. Sometimes it's important to go within. It can answer some internal questions that you may have going on, and then kind of regroup and say, you know what, recalibrate, reorient, and then come on back and then move on ahead in love. And it's saying that once you go through this period, this hermit period, in February, that it is safe for you to love. So if a relationship springs after this hermit time, then it would be, this card would affirm that this relationship is good. It's safe for you to love. I mean, okay, I won't just put a blanket. It's good, all good. It's just that now you're at a place now of being receptive to love, being softened to being able to get love to you and access to you. So that's a beautiful thing. In terms of March, we have the wheel, or the wheel of fortune. Things going up, things going down. And then we have unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Do you find yourself on a roller coaster ride, some Aries? I don't know. We're going to talk quite a bit about this one, so sit back. So this is for those who, and I once was in this kind of relationship myself, where it's like a merry-go-round. 1 minute it's up and you guys are feeling okay. You're feeling like, oh, this person's starting to dig me, and we're vibing. We might even have a good, great weekend together. And then it goes back to crap again, and then you go back into a cycle of feeling okay, feeling maybe a little bit better, and then it goes back again. This card is saying ultimately there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So for those of you who are in this cycle, it may be time to just let this relationship go. For others, it could be maybe you're not in this vicious cycle, but maybe you didn't go all the way full cycle over and around and again. Although I think some people, this might hit certain people who need to hear it differently, I guess, than others. But this could also be saying you find yourself in cycles with people in unrequited loves all the time. Like every relationship you seem to have. So you need to take a look at that, take a step back, and see why you would be in a situation where you're constantly feeling like you have to do the chasing in the relationship. It's time to no longer chase. Even if you are not in a situation like that right now, look at your patterns in your past relationships. Do they feel healthy to you? Do they feel reciprocal to you? If they don't feel like you, if it felt like it was a little more one-sided and you felt like you were doing most of the work, that would tell me that, that's not really an equitable kind of relationship, and it's not really healthy, and it's not really sustainable. And you want a sustainable, long-lasting relationship, or most people do. I don't know. Actually, let me not say most people do, but most people, I would say, desire something along those lines. So you have to root out, have sovereignty over this situation and say, you know what, no more. When I was in a situation of a pattern of going around and around with someone, with a guy who just, I guess, was just not that into me. Some people probably need to read that book. It's a good little quick read. He's just not that into you. I forgot who the author is, but when I finally ended that cycle, it felt so good. I felt like I had sovereignty. but it didn't come like right then and there. I didn't feel powerful in that moment. In fact, I felt really weak right after I told him not to contact me anymore, and when I deleted his number out of my phone. And in that moment, I felt weak. Like if he would call me back and say the right things, I might be inclined to go back. But in this moment, I got fed up and tired of the vicious cycle, and I ended it, and it was a good thing. And I had sovereignty when it was all said and done, and I felt stronger as time went on. Same thing for you, okay? And so just be cognizant of that, even in a current relationship, even if you're in a relationship dynamic like this, even if you're married, there's ways to heal this situation with counseling or with, maybe meditation, maybe really focusing on why these patterns keep reappearing, having honest conversations with your partner about that. Because it could be in smaller doses, it may not be all the time, but sometimes it'll feel like your partner's just not like giving to you what you feel like you need. Like it just feels lacking, like they're very all consuming, and it almost feels like they don't have that chemistry connection to you that you desire. So just take a look at that. All right, we move into April. So for April, we have the Ace of Swords, new thoughts, new clarity of, clarity of mind, new ideas, new approaches to things. Just cutting through the BS and just new beginnings with, with having new thoughts, new ideas coming and springing about love. And one of the new ideas that's springing for you, whether you're in a relationship or not, is about releasing the energies of your ex. It says the time has come to clear your energy. So in April, maybe the ex keeps popping up. Even if you're in a relationship, sometimes we have those exes that just keep wanting to pop up. They're popping up because there's an energetic connection between the both of you that you haven't surrendered yet. Even if you're in a relationship, and if you're not in a relationship, they really feel like they need to be contacting you all the time because you have not claimed sovereignty over that situation yet. And that makes sense as you go from March to April. You are like, aha, I think I know what I need to do in order to allow love into my life. I need to release my ex. Maybe, you have moved on. You started dating others. But then every now and then you're like, you get into an argument with your new love interest. And you're like, you're just like so-and-so. You do that like so-and-so. You get on my nerves like so-and-so. And you can't release it. Even if you don't say, you get on my nerves like so-and-so to your current partner, you're thinking it like, all guys are like that. All girls are like that. All this or that are like that. But no, it's because you have not released your ex's energy, and it's time to come. It says the time has come to clear your energy. And this card, to me, ascertains that you will, which I'm happy about that for you. And again, like I said, this is regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. Some of you, again, will have just new ideas on how to how to have more of a intellectual relationship, whether it's a new relationship with someone or just in general, you want to have more of the next partner you get, for example, you want to have more of a connection to mind, not just the body, but mind is definitely important. So that's important to you. You want to release that. Maybe your ex didn't have that kind of energy. For some of you, you just want to have a more intellectual connection with your current partner. And so you release those old dynamics that you had with your old partners, ones that you weren't really able to intellectually vibe and connect with. So now we are into May. We have the Seven of Pentacles. I love this. This is like she's collecting her fruits. She's collecting some of the lower hanging fruits because it's easier to get, but she knows that she's got to get some of those fruits towards the top. And this is kind of where you're at potentially with the budding of a new relationship for some of you who have maybe started dating someone. And it says this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, which is awesome. So this is saying here, with I say picking the low, like saying starting to pluck the fruit, trying to see if this person is the one. And so if you're single in May, if you're wondering if this could be the one, well, this card ascertains that, yeah, this could be the one, and this might be a partner worthy of building a life together with. And you also get to, if you're in a relationship, this card is signifying to you that this is the one. And again, you may not be quite where you want to be yet in the relationship, even if you're married. I mean, we're all on a journey, but this is, I think, speaking mainly to those who are just like maybe boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe even, I wouldn't say necessarily the engaged group of Aries. I'm talking about those ones who are in those long-term relationships, and it's taking a while to get there because the Pentacles energy takes a while to get there. But you're getting there. And that this card affirms that, yeah, this is a partner that you can feel safe and solid about building a life together with. And they are worth the investment. All right, so then we move into June. June has the Magician energy about creating, using the magic within us, tapping into the magic of our relationship, the magic of what we've got together, and seeing what comes up after we put our love together. And here for the coupled up in June, we show here retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So some Aries may, maybe this is your anniversary month, and this is the time you're going to go on a little quick getaway with your love. And that's awesome. You're able to disconnect from the world and just connect with one another. So that's amazing. For those who are not in a relationship, I sense that you're like, I am ready to create a safe spot in my world for love to enter. So maybe I'm going to go on vacation and really realign and get back and get my vibe going, get it together. Maybe I just simply retreat and kind of pull within a little bit, doing some journaling, doing some reconnecting with nature, just going within, really just cultivating that magic, maybe being open to people who want to say, hey, why don't you go on a double date with us? I've got this great person that you should meet, etc. So that's a good thing for June. June is a magical time for love for both the coupled and the single. So whether you're doing some internal work, or whether you're working with a partner, it is a magical time of growth and creating a much more solid connection with your partner. Then we go into, let's see, this is July. So we have the Fool card. And I love that it comes up with the honeymoon card. So again, maybe the honeymoon period of this relationship that started in May for some of you. Some of you, the relationship that you're currently in really started to kick into higher gear because you really realize, hey, I got this partner, I really appreciate them, and I'm going on retreat with them, vacation. Some of you, this represents an actual honeymoon, taking that leap of faith and going to marry someone and then have a honeymoon in July. So some that literally means that for some people. Some, this could mean just taking the relationship to the next level of like engagement, or maybe even running away and getting married. Others who are not necessarily, or this is also too for those who are in a relationship, maybe not engaged or married, but just in a committed relationship, a one-on-one relationship, and you're still in the honeymoon phase. You've taken a leap of faith. You guys have decided to make a commitment to one another. You jump, you leap over the edge together, and you see where it's at, and you're still in the honeymoon phase. And it's an awesome time. While those who are single, this maybe speaks to you know, having a honeymoon phase, again, maybe going on another vacation and just, you know, dating someone while you're on vacation that you don't normally date. This could be you literally in the honeymoon phase of your dating life right now, and you're jumping off the ledge to try new things, trying or dating new kinds of people, and you're having a honeymoon period of that. And it's summertime in the northern hemisphere, and the wintertime it's for the southern hemisphere during this time of year. So really it's just like, especially in the summertime for the northern hemisphere, you're just feeling like, "Ah, I'm free, I'm happy, I'm in love with life, I am taking risks, and I'm getting some rewards as I'm taking these risks." Look at the little orbs of light. Then we move into August and we get 10 of Wands. And this particular 10 of Wands, I love it because she just then went and gave up. She didn't drop the wands all over the place. Normally, with the 10 of Wands, it's someone, they are carrying the load, you know, and going uphill, and it's very, you know, it's just tiring, and they don't know if they can make it. This one, she just was like, I give up. Like, I need to just throw these down for a minute and collect myself. And so I love that with the 10 of Wands came the heart-to-heart conversations. Sometimes when we are tapped out, and at this point, I love that it's this deck because this is speaking specifically to people or persons who have gotten already past the point of carrying the load and now thinking about deciding to lighten the load. This is someone who had no choice but to lighten it and just drop everything like she did. And it's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your partner if you're in a relationship. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other, is what this card says. It says to honestly discuss how you're feeling. If you're feeling overtaxed in the relationship, like you're the one carrying the weight, it's time to express that. So you know, this is August, so it's time to have that heart-to-heart conversation with your partner and say, hey, I need you to carry some more of the weight. I can't carry this relationship all by myself. And then see what he or she has to say to that. And I can't imagine them not being receptive if you approach it like, look, as you can see, things have been, I really need your help. And your partner will be receptive to that. For those who are not in a relationship, this is about, again, surrendering, letting go, and just saying, you know what? I don't have all the answers. Sometimes I want to be in a committed relationship. This is what I desire, but I'm not sure how to go about getting it. And I seem to pick up and carry other people's burdens, friends' burdens, this or that. It seems to be preventing me from doing what I need to do. Whether it's dating, whether it's going to see a counselor myself. It's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with a friend about that. Maybe a needy friend for some of you who's really intervening on your dating life. While others just could speak to having heart-to-heart conversations with a therapist about how you constantly are taking on the burdens of others and not really able to take care and love yourself, or to love your partner, or to allow love in from a new partner. Might be time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with a trusted individual. In terms of, this is September, we have the Three of Swords here, which traditionally speaks to disappointments in love, feeling a little bit of betrayal, feeling a little guilty about something. And sometimes when the wedding card comes up, well, let me speak first to the group. Let me just get it out of the way. This card literally could mean that in September, some of you are getting married, despite the fact that there was some feelings in the relationship of feeling a little bit disappointed, betrayed. You're going to go ahead and move forward in the wedding, but not without feeling some disappointment. It could be just simply a little bit of disappointment over the actual wedding itself, or it could be disappointment over your partner's action leading to the wedding. So that This also, a lot of times the wedding card, when it comes up, it's it's a card that invites us to look at how our parents' marriage has influenced our own relationships and what patterns that keep repeating and that kept repeating in our parents' marriage is now repeating in our marriage or now repeating in the dating life that we carry. And so instead of, like, if you end up breaking up with someone after having heart-to-heart conversations in the prior month, instead of feeling really bad about it being over and disappointed, you might want to feel a little more empowered and think, hey, what can I learn from this? What can I glean from this? Or am I seeing repeated patterns going on? And is this something that's stemming from when I was young that I witnessed? And how can I go ahead and just simply gently let that past history go so I can make room for the relationship that I want in my life? So that would be an invitation for that. This card could also signify, these two cards together, that after a time of maybe some heartbreak, you finally have a relationship that comes in that is wedding or marriage material. All right, so let's move into, this is October, and this is the Queen of Wands. And it comes with the Healing Family Issues card. It says, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Again, there's some healing, some parental influence healing going on for you in these months here. And it seems like you finally triumph over that in October. Like, and this is whether you're in a relationship or not. So you have some triumph over that, as opposed to constantly carrying this baggage on and on and on. You're actually doing some work because you realized in the prior month that maybe there's some things that are lingering that is really, that will start to hurt your relationships and hurt you. You finally are successful in healing those issues, as we see supported by the Queen of Wands. She is the nurturer of passion. She is the nurturer of creativity in love, and creativity in making things work. So maybe it will even be someone like the Queen of Wands who comes in and helps you with your family issues, even family issues that you may be having in your own family with your children and your spouse, or family issues like in terms of the past, you know, like your family of origin even. This tells me that maybe someone may be coming in to help you, a womanly figure as such, or an energy like the Queen of Wands. Maybe not necessarily a woman either. So that's just in time for getting ready for the holidays to heal those issues, because that would be nice to not have to carry and worry so much about that as you go into the holiday season. Speaking of the holiday season, we have the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups here, and this is definitely almost at the pinnacle of attainment of emotional fulfillment. You are, like, she's dusting her trophy. She's feeling immense pride and happiness and joy over what she has gathered and attained here. And that's because she should, because there's some soulmate energy floating around her. It says, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So the Nine of Cups says, hey, this person that you've been hanging out with, yeah, they may just be your soulmate. Or this person, or maybe if you don't have one in mind right now, maybe it's not someone you're in a relationship with. It's saying you are finally in a place where you are feeling emotionally fulfilled and ready to call in your soulmate. So, like, I love the advice. This is also some advice here. So if you don't have any mate in sight and you're like, oh my gosh, Kim said that in November I was going to be calling in my soulmate. Well, let's take a look at your homework that you should start doing well before you get to November. So that way what I'm saying here is something that truly manifests. You can always have these energies going on around you, but it's how you interact with these energies to see if you get the results. So what I mean by that is I believe in free will. I believe that we have a forecast, if you will. You know how weather has a forecast? When I read, I look at what I'm doing is forecasting in helping you so you know if you need an umbrella or if you need this or you need that in order to work with these energies. These energies are going on however you engage with them. So when there's advice, so like this, it says your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together and you are single. This is your affirmation. This is your work, Aries. If you are single and you want to meet your soulmate, especially if your heightened time in the whole year really is in November 2019 for calling in your soulmate. So mind your prayers, mind your affirmations and visualizations this year, starting day 1 in 2019. Starting now, if you're watching it before 2019. Watching this video, I should say. And for those who are in a committed relationship, this is saying that, and this is really more about your intuition. I get a sense that with this lady smiling and looking like she's emotionally fulfilled with this 9 of Cups, that you want whoever this is, if you're in a relationship, you want this person to be your soulmate. Well, this is likely your soulmate. You're feeling good and secure and like this is where we're going. We're going to be connected for a long time and you're happy about that. Otherwise, if it was a different card and it was calling in your soulmate, then we could probably argue, well, maybe the person you're in now or in a relationship now with is not your soulmate and someone else is coming. But I get a sense that this card is also affirmation of those who are in a relationship, that likely your prayers, it says your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Well, that's what's happened. And now you guys are together. This is confirmation of that. And then we have December. Mixed bag with December. So we have King of Swords. Definitely feeling on top of your game in terms of love. You've gone through quite the journey from start to finish, Aries. From where you started to where you ended. And you've become wiser. You know, you are stronger. You don't really take any mess like, you know, maybe at the start of the year or in the past. And people respect you, and that's a good thing. This card also is an invitation to pay attention to the red flags. It says the signs are cautioning you. So if you are in a potential new relationship, Spirit is saying that use that King of Swords energy that, you know, I can see through BS. I'm strong. I'm assertive. I take care of business. Use that to navigate whether or not red flags are warranted and need to be further investigated, or if they're just simply, you know, little coincidences. You are stronger now than when you started back in January 2019 to December. Sometimes there would have been red flags in the past, Aries, that if you had chemistry and new love potential with someone, or even if it was someone not necessarily someone you should be worried about, but maybe you were stepping out on your partner. At January, you may not have been able to really either see or want to see the red flags really, or you may not have had the power to do anything about investigating the red flags. Now you do. And so now for those who are single, this is an invitation to use that strength, that wisdom, that conviction about yourself. Pay attention to red flags, act if necessary, and if not, hey, you're now more alert, you're more protective of yourself, and that's a beautiful and powerful thing. You have sovereignty now. You've gained sovereignty. And so whether you're in a relationship or not, it's always important to still pay attention to red flags. There could be red flags signifying that there's issues in the relationship that needs tending to. Somebody might be about to step out alert. Whether it's you or the other person in the relationship. It could be you're starting to date someone new and you're starting to feel a little certain intuitive vibes telling you something about them, and then you hear things or maybe something happens. Don't push this out of your mind. Really analyze it like a King of Swords would, and then act from there and do what you need to do accordingly. Let's close out the reading for the year for 2019 for love. Let's see if there's some final messages here that we can say. I think the last, no, it's not the last card. Okay. I'm just going to read excerpts here. It says, you have sovereignty over your own life, and I'm going to add over your own love life. Act with grace and confidence. You have the ability to unite disparate people and views should you choose to do so. The buck stops with you. You are powerful. Act like it. So that's what this card is also saying about December too. Remember how powerful you are. Let's see, it says, we should strive to be the powerful queens of our own domain. Women especially have been socialized to defer, to keep small, to be quiet, and to hold a very twisted kind of service that borders on servitude. Interesting. While in many first world countries, women can choose to be what they wish to be on paper, women still experience inequality in most countries in areas such as wage disparity and an imbalance of number of women in government or high-level board positions. When we reign over our own lives, it is us that takes on the responsibility for our own change and decisions. The Moon Queen knows that we, just under the divine, are our own rulers, and as such, the buck stops here. Therefore, it is worth us investing in growing our own self-awareness, our own self-trust, self-care, and self-esteem in real and practical ways. We must, as any queen would, set firm boundaries to protect our queendom and those who are under our protection. Look at that. You see those people under her protection? I'm going to read that again. We must, as any queen would, set firm boundaries to protect our queendom and those who are under our protection. This does not mean we become cruel rulers. We should always aim for benevolence, fairness, and a great love for all, as well as ourselves. I think I mentioned that before with one of these cards. I think it might have been the heart-to-heart conversations. It does not mean we have to push against those who do not respect our line in the sand. And this goes beautifully with this card. So remember your sovereignty, and whether you are in a relationship or not. Don't just give over your power, Aries. You are a powerful being, and you know it. You claim that power, whether you're in a relationship or whether you are not. Whether you are dating and seeking, or whether you have been in a relationship for years. Claim your sovereignty. Oh, sorry about that. My son is coming home. All right, my dears. Well, that's that. That is your Love 2019 reading. I hope that gives you some good, juicy information to ponder and think about. I send you lots of love and blessings for your year. Take care.